All right, welcome everyone. Good morning, and thanks for joining me in this live stream. Really do appreciate it. All right, so let's jump into it right away and talk about the all-important inflation report that was just released moments ago. And this is a highly anticipated report as well. And for those of you that receive some type of fixed income benefit from Social Security, again, you know all the benefits that I talk about here on the channel all the time, right? Any type of fixed income benefit, about 70 million people that receive these, but we want to continue watching these inflation reports. Now, I want to bring you the details about this one because we've been waiting for this one for quite a while now, and this is a report that comes out once per month. Well, this is on the behalf of April, okay? So as I always say in the videos, the inflation reports generally come out around the middle of the month for the previous month. So right now, we got the inflation report just this morning, just moments ago, for April. So this is April's inflation report. But I want to talk through the details about what this report points out here. And I'm going to point out what we're going to anticipate later today as well, as far as what we're going to see from a bunch of talking heads. You know who I'm talking about, right? A bunch of people that come out and say, oh, look at us, so we're doing a great job here, and yeah, inflation's going down, all kinds of stuff like this. But anyway, I want to bring you the details of this report here, exactly what is encompassed within this, and again, what it means for your Social Security checks as well. Because, yeah, we did see a little bit of a change here, but I wouldn't really hold my breath on this thing because, I mean, it's one data point, okay? One data point does not really make a trend at all. Now, if we see the next 3, 4, 5 months coming in like this, well, then, yeah, that'd be fine, okay? But this is just one simple data point. All right, so anyway, so if you've been watching the videos here on the channel for a while now, you know basically since the beginning of the year, January, February, March, all of these inflation reports have been coming in higher and higher and higher, showing that inflation continues to move up, and the projections as far as the forecasts for the raise to Social Security benefits has also been ticking up pretty substantially here over the last several months because inflation continues to move up higher and higher. However, let's quickly talk about the report that came out today. So it came in showing on a month-over-month basis. So basically, this is showing from March to April. Remember, here we are in May right now. But again, this is all data from last month, right? This is how it always works. It's not like it's, old data. This just was released. But anyway, on a month-over-month basis, from March to April, they found that inflation went up 0.3%, which is actually right in line with what analysts were anticipating, 0.3%. So that's just what they anticipated. Now, that is just like the headline number, okay? There's also a core figure as well. Well, let me get into that in a second here. I'll kind of lead into that. But anyway, on a year-over-year basis, they were also anticipating inflation to go up 3.4%. Now remember, the previous month, March, again, the report that we got out 1 month ago on the behalf of March came in at 3.5%. So the analysts were anticipating that inflation would come in on a year-over-year basis at 3.4%. Well, guess what? That's exactly where it came in, 3.4%. So yes, on a year-over-year basis, it actually does show that inflation went down on a year-over-year basis by 0.1%. That's very minimal. That's like nothing, okay? It's not like we saw a 0.4% drop in inflation. No, we saw 1/10. So in other words, 1/10 is, think of it this way, okay? You take an apple, you cut it up into 10 equal pieces, you pull out one little slice. That's 1/10 of 1%, okay? Or 1/10, I should say, okay? Not 1/10 of 1%, but you get my point here, okay? So 1/10, that's all it really comes down to. Anyway, it's not very much at all, okay? We did not see like a massive drop in inflation. However, what we did see is that inflation did not go up 0.3% or 0.4%, or even 0.2%, right? We did see it go down a little bit. So maybe inflation is stabilizing a little bit. Again, the reason I say maybe is because it's just one report. It's just literally 1 month, okay? That's why we need to continue watching the ongoing trend of inflation, not just a 1 month reading, because 1 month doesn't really mean a whole lot, right? That's why I said before at the beginning of this live stream, I said, if we see this month over month and we see this happening for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 months, well then fine. Maybe we have more of a direction on this, but this is just 1 month. We could come back next month with this month's inflation report and see that inflation went up 0.3% on a year-over-year. I mean, that's what could happen, right? But anyway, so now let me talk about core inflation, okay? So this is another very important reading, but what the core inflation reading comes in at, basically what they do is they remove food and energy out of the report, okay? These are highly volatile, so they take these out of the report and they give us another core reading, okay? This one came in at 3.6%. Last month, it was 3.8%. So Technically, yes, it did go down a little bit. Again, extracting food and energy from the inflation report. Okay, fine. All of this economic talk and all this stuff like this. But what does it really mean for you, your money, your benefits, Social Security as a whole, things like this, okay? Now, if you've been watching the videos here on the channel for a while now, or if you've been watching any of the headlines, it's out there from other places as well. But we've been seeing the forecasts coming in for the COLA, suggesting higher for next year, right? Now, obviously, 2025 is a long time from now. I totally get that. I totally recognize that. However, the months in which that we use to calculate the COLA for the following year, July, August, and September, are not that far away. Here we are in mid-May right now as I host this live stream. July is only a month and a half away. It's not that far, right? So my point is, and what I've said before in other videos, is that we need to continue watching this inflation data as we lead up to the third quarter. Again, July, August, and September, because if inflation is trending down, well, then we can anticipate it's probably going to continue trending down or possibly plateau during those 3 months. If we see inflation trending up as we lead into those 3 months, then guess what? We can probably anticipate it's going to continue trending up, right? That's my point here. So for the first 3 months of the year, January, February, March, we saw inflation ticking up pretty substantially. In April, well, we saw it cool a little bit, right? So it went down just a little bit based on this report that we just got this morning. So my point is, maybe the forecasts on the Social Security raise or COLA for next year may be pushed down a little bit, okay? I wouldn't really get too concerned about it like, oh, it's going down to zero. I wouldn't say that at all. It may be adjusted lower by like 0.1%, maybe. It might even still hold steady. What we really don't know yet is we need to continue to watch the future inflation numbers and the future reports that come out, especially this month and next month as well. So when we get May's inflation data in a month from now, in mid-June, and when we get June's inflation data in a month from that, in the middle of July, those are going to be very, very important to see as well. Is this month's reading, or what I should say is last month's, April's reading, the reading that we got just this morning in the inflation report, the CPI, is this reading that we just got this morning, is this the establishment of a new trend? Is inflation possibly plateauing out? Is this just a little pause and then it's going to continue marching higher? We won't know that. So that's the big, big question mark about this whole thing right now. But next month, in a month from now, when we get May's inflation report, we'll have a much more clarity on this to see what's really going on. And again, in a month after that, we'll have a much more clarity again when we get June's inflation report. And then once we roll over to July, guess what? It's game on. Now all of the data collected is going to be very important for the 3 months following July, August, September. And that's going to dictate how much the raise will come in next year for 2025. Does all that kind of make sense? So again, the inflation reports, again, I don't want to sit here and talk about, make this huge economic video and lesson and stuff like that. But it is very important to continue watching all these data points. So we got a little bit of a pause. They continue to tell us, inflation went down. That's why I said a couple minutes ago, you're going to see all these people coming out, talking heads, all these people coming out saying, oh, our policies and everything's working. Look, inflation's going down. We got a reading of 0.1% lower last month, right? I'm sorry, buddy. That's not how it works, right? So anyway, we'll have to see how it works, how this goes forward. But I guarantee you we're going to see a bunch of people coming out today saying, oh, look at us. We're doing a great job here. But really, when we look at the real picture here, inflation is still very high. It's still well above the 2% range that the Federal Reserve wants it to be at. They want inflation to be at 2%. We're sitting, as of this report right here, 3.4%. So we are 1.4% higher than where they want it to be. I know that doesn't sound like all that far, but guess what? They haven't been able to get it down there in 2 years. So just saying, okay? My point is, when I say 2 years, I'm talking about when inflation topped out at 9.1% in June of 2022. Since then, they've been trying to bring it down to 2%. They have been unsuccessful, okay? Inflation has been bouncing around this 3% range for about 9 months or so, give or take a little bit. So my point is, yes, we're only 1.5%, 1.4%, whatever it happens to be, as we continue to oscillate around here. We're only that far off of their target and their goal of 2%. But they can't do it. They haven't been able to do it yet. That's my point, okay? So even though it sounds like, it shouldn't be that hard to do, you're right. if they really wanted to bring it down to 2%, they could do it. They would crush the economy in the process of doing that, and it'd be a mess, okay? They can certainly do it, but there's going to be a lot of crushing going on to get there. So anyway, just want to talk about this really quickly here. I know a lot of you here in the community do receive fixed income benefits that I talk about here on the channel all the time. I would not get too concerned about this. I would say that the projections on the COLA for the following year here are probably going to hold steady as of right now, okay? But again, these are just projections. This is not the official announcement. The official announcement is in, what is it, in 5 months, in October, right? In October is when we get the official announcement, but we got to continue watching all the inflation data leading up to that, because that's all going to play a role into your potential check and how much it's going to raise up. Make sense? Oh, by the way, in this inflation report, they said food. They said food actually is holding steady, and some food items actually went down. For example, they said staple items like milk and eggs and bread actually went down in price last month. I don't know. I'd love to hear your feedback on that one. Do you think that is accurate, or do you think that's just another joke and we should all laugh together about that? So I don't know. But they also did say as well things like, what was the list? It was like ice cream and some of the other items are going up in price. Well, gee, I wonder why. I don't know, maybe because it's hot across the entire country. And what are we doing? Probably buying something cold, like ice cream, right? So when more people are buying something, it drives prices higher. I mean, are we shocked at all that ice cream prices are going up right now? No, I would have to bet that ice cream prices are probably going to continue going up, maybe through, I don't know, maybe August. Maybe starting in September, they might start going down a little bit because, you know, of a bunch of factors going on in September, right? Maybe the weather's cooling down a little bit. Maybe kids are back in school. Maybe traveling season isn't upon us anymore. I don't know. That's just my projection. If I had to bet, that's just what I would say. Anyway, I'm going to jump into the chat box here. I'll spend a few minutes there right now answering questions, doing whatever I can, but I don't want to sit on here forever. So let me spend a little bit of time in the chat, and then we'll wrap this up, and I'll catch you again later in another video. All right, so let's jump into this and see what's going on here. Pause that. Oops. This is weird. It's like I don't see any messages. I mean, maybe there's not any messages. That's fine. I'm not entitled to comments. I don't want to act like I am. I'm definitely not. I'm just simply saying. Something's weird about this. It's like they're not popping up. Let me see more. Hello? All right. I'm not really sure why, but I'm not seeing anything in the chat. So I'm not sure if I'm just like having technical difficulties and I'm not sure what's going on here, but I don't see any messages in a chat. So I'm not sure if it's not pulling up or what the problem is. Oh, wait. No, that's not it. Oh, yeah. Oh, here's someone mentioning, I don't see any comments, something. Okay, yeah, so I think it was like Mom Matilda H or something said I don't see any comments either. Yeah, so apparently no comments. That's okay. Again, I don't want to act like I'm entitled to stuff. I'm definitely not. But anyway, so yeah, if that's the case, then that's totally fine. Let's wrap it up with that. Perfect. So anyway, I will come back later in another video and break this all down for you. But yes, if you are just jumping on live right now, just check out the first, I don't know, 10 minutes of this video, however long it was. I broke down all the details of today's inflation report that was just released moments ago, what it all means, and kind of where we're sitting right now as far as projections on potential raises to Social Security, things like this, and why this inflation report is important. But at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world because, you know, we need to continue watching what is going on in the coming months here. One data point definitely does not create a trend here, but we need to look at the overall trend. January, February, March is definitely significantly higher. April, yeah, it paused a little bit, went down a teeny tiny bit. but I wouldn't really consider that a whole, like a huge win in the whole, battle against inflation, if that kind of makes sense, right? But what we need to do is continue watching the reports here coming forward, and that'll give us much better picture. So who knows? It's just like a trend with everything else, okay? Things go up, they pause for a minute, and then they go up even more, right? Just like any healthy trend, anything that goes straight up is not a healthy trend at all. Make sense? All right, so with that being said, since there's no comments down below, let's wrap it up, and I'll catch you again later. All right, enjoy your day. Thanks so much for watching. Truly appreciate it, and good morning. Hope you're having a nice day and enjoying some coffee, right? Anyway, have a nice day, and I'll catch you again later. All right, so if you're still joining me, you may want to click off now. When I unplug this, it starts talking, and probably sounds annoying. All right, anyway, here we go. Let's hit that button and hit this other button. All right, enjoy your day. Stay cool out there. Hot one around. Have a nice day. See you later.